his left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning, Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Ooh, that Jake sucks slapped today.
It hit.
That punched me right in the schnoz.
It
Good
hit different.
afternoon, Bakers. Little afternoon sesh. We Dick delayed. Trevor Plouffe, friend of the family, friend of mine, friend of David's. Had to go a little earlier for talking baseball, so we hit it in the morning. And now we are waking and breaking. Producer, Big Baby David in the corner. All the Bakers live in the chat. Good seeing you guys. Sports hot in the streets. A couple sneaky things going on, BBD. A couple not sneaky things. The game of the night is actually going to be the trade of the night, BBD. You like that? Trading is a game in and of itself.
Look at this guy's jib.
Isn't that a deep cut? It was the story of the sports world yesterday. So let's just put a banger in the mouth. James Harden is going to Brooklyn. He gets his wish. He forced his way out. We talked about it preseason. He wanted to go. He showed up looking like a thick king of all thick kings this season. I mean, basically quit on the team. DeMarcus Cousins came out with all the quotes afterwards. James Harden's going to the Nets. Oladipo ends up in Houston. Who was it? LeVert. He ends up in Indiana, right?
Yeah, LeVert in Indiana. The Rockets end up with Oladipo. 4 total firsts.
Right. 4 total firsts.
3 from Brooklyn, 1 from Milwaukee via the Cavs.
And 4 pick swaps, I believe. So, I mean, let's be honest. It revolves around Harden. He's going to Brooklyn. This feels like one of the bigger do-or-die trades. I don't want to say ever, but kind of. And actually, I do want to walk that back, because that was my first reaction yesterday, and I posted the vid. I think I'm going to start doing that every time there's sports news. Just say something.
Yeah. If you've got something to say about it.
I like sports. That it was like, whoa. You know, it came out that all these guys have player options for next year. So, like, if Kyrie, Harden, and Durant opt out, what's going on there? I mean, at the same time, I heard someone else say that Harden is almost Kyrie insurance, because Kyrie's got his own thing going on, that, hey, even if they don't win the title this year, if things get weird, that, you know, they could still do something with Harden and KD. Like, they like each other.
Harden and KD, like, by themselves is enough.
Yeah.
That by itself probably doesn't make you the favorites. Not over LeBron AD, but that by itself is enough that you could do stuff.
I mean, 2 of the most efficient scorers all time. You know, not trying to put Kyrie down, but, you know, say if things go weird this year, the Kyrie story, I mean, Kyrie was literally missing a week ago, so let's not, you know.
Poo-poo that.
You know, I know Kyrie's got some hot takes, and he's a deep thinker, and, you know, some people don't like him for that, blah, blah, blah. Either way, if you're running an organization, you're not writing Kyrie in ink next year. So we'll see what goes on there. It's going to be fun. You know, I did see the Nets fans in our, you know, New Talkin' Nets ad. Bobby Skinner, who's a Nets fan, was getting loud because Nets fans were talking about what they had to give up. LeVert, Jared Allen goes over to Cleveland, and he had looked really good this year.
Plays a position of need.
Yeah, so I get it, but, man, it's Kyrie, it's Harden, it's KD. I mean, I don't know if 3 better scorers have ever been on a court together.
The way I heard it phrased that I really like, this is like the most shot creation ability that's ever been like assembled.
I mean, they can do whatever they want, man. And hey, Steve Nash, I almost felt bad for him yesterday because how much coaching can you really do? Can you yell at these guys? If you do, are you fired? If you do they leave next year and your coaching career gets tanked? So there's a lot of moving parts. The Nets did give up kind of a lot of stuff, especially if this doesn't work out for them, that, the Nets could be in a dark place in 3 years. 4 years, whatever it is. Next year, if things go really poorly. But enjoy it now.
I heard a rumor. Not getting into it, like it's like it like actually is like a thing. It won't happen during the season because these two teams are trying to beat each other this year.
Sure.
But I was told by someone this morning that don't be surprised if over the summer the Nets and Sixers navigate a Kyrie for Ben Simmons swap.
Ooh, okay.
Like Simmons can guard like LeBron, Kawhi, whoever on defense. Doesn't care about like getting his own shot really.
Yeah.
Doesn't shoot. Period.
Doesn't want to shoot.
I think he likes scoring.
Ideally, doesn't want to shoot. Everyone likes to score. And BBD, even with that, I mean, we're talking about a trade. One of the NBA's biggest superstars, MVP winner, Harden. He's traded, and you're already talking about, the potential next trade with another superstar. So that's kind of how the NBA operates, and it's impressive. I think Houston did do all right. I saw ESPN's trade grade thing came out, and they gave Brooklyn a D, and it's like, come on. I get what you're saying, like on paper, and if this falls apart and the picks go away, but your hand's almost forced, man.
You have the opportunity to go for this.
I think they're the favorites in the East. We did this a little last late night at the Jomboy media office. The Bucks, Giannis, Middleton. Who they had? Who's their third scorer now? Holiday, who I like a lot. So I guess the Bucks are probably still the odds favorite, but okay, so how about this? The NBA is a star league. Think about the three players I just named. Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Giannis. Versus KD, Kyrie, and Harden. If it's a 3-on-3 game, you're taking those three every time. I mean, people were crapping on Middleton all last year. Yeah. Holiday's a really nice guy, never going to come winning a league MVP like Harden did. So, I don't know, man. Nets fans, have fun with it. Have a lot of fun with it. And yeah, I mean, the East is kind of weak, man. The Bucks have never done it. Boston, I've kind of come around on Tatum and Jalen. Not sure what's going on with Kemba, but like that team, they're not a great team. The Heat have kind of stunk this year.
You can see that them growing together.
Yeah,
teams don't really take.
But
that
like right
anymore.
now, yeah.
But yeah.
So I don't know. Brooklyn fans enjoy it. Again, I don't know if it goes for the rest of this season and then it's over, and that's when it would be big time time. Maybe they make it work. Maybe it's Harden and KD. Like, that's also pretty sweet, Brooklyn. Who knows what goes on with Kyrie? We'll find out.
Like the criticisms we're seeing of the trade. One is people comparing it to the KG trade, which is not fair. That time they mortgaged the future for Garnett and Paul Pierce, who were
past their prime.
Certainly past their prime. I guess you could argue like hanging on by a thread to their prime, but they were at the end of their careers. Yeah. At the end of their time as being starters.
No, I mean these
guys are in their prime.
Two of these guys are NBA superstars that you put them on any team and they're a playoff team. Kyrie is not. And that was, I think, the funniest tweet I saw yesterday was that Kyrie didn't like being the Robin to Batman with LeBron. How's he going to like being the Alfred? And I was like, oh, hey.
That's the other part that
that's really
is an actual concern I would have because, Kyrie, and he's like slighted LeBron when he has had the opportunity.
And dude,
like when he teamed up with KD, he said, finally I have someone else who can like take pressure off me down the stretch, or whatever his exact phrasing is. And that's like an unfair and false assessment of what LeBron does.
And the other thing is, I mean, everyone saw it the first year with the Miami Heat and LeBron. It was like, oh, these guys are going to dominate, not one, not two, blah, blah, blah. They didn't win that first year.
Like half a year for them to be good.
If you ever watch when they do those courtside cameras or those baseline cameras, or if you've ever gone to an NBA game and you've been pretty up close, the game moves so fast. There's such timing involved. Like, these guys are going to take time to gel, and I don't know if it's going to happen quick enough this year. I kind of hope it does, because it's got to be them or the Bucks against the Lakers to kind of make it matter. Whoa, just gave it to the Lakers. Huge trade yesterday. NBA company.
Story of sports.
I think we'll keep it moving. Yeah, it was fun, man. The NBA is good at that. And again, remember Houston, Harden joins D'Antoni, who's the assistant coach to Steve Nash. So that's a lot of fun after all their years in Houston, and I don't think they were best friends. And then, the Houston GM just took this job because Morey left town.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like...
That would have been the Sixers move.
Right.
The Sixers, I guess we're pretty close down the stretch.
Yeah. NBA does well, man.
Yeah,
it's fun.
The rumor I heard, because people talk about like only one ball, these guys are so ball dominant. The chatter we've heard rumblings every now and then. I don't know how much I subscribe to it. Is Harden didn't want to play that way 100% of the time. He wanted to be like a free flowing offense that like is what succeeds. A lot of times, what succeeded was play through him, and he does everything.
Yeah,
and that's fun to do. But
Let's see it,
knew
James.
What the rumor was in his like heart. He knew in the playoffs you need to be able to do other stuff.
All three of these guys will be on the Knicks next year, so that's fun.
That'll be exciting.
I don't know. Enjoy it, Brooklyn. Enjoy it, NBA. They do well. Knicks lose last night. Update. Sports. That was the game of the night, a.k.a. the trade of the night yesterday, because, that was the big thing, man. That was crazy. The game of the night was brought to you by JJR. Good JJR yesterday. Go check it out. BBD, I think the rest of the episode, baseball's kind of chilled out the rest of this week.
Yeah. There's a lot to talk about early in the week.
Yeah, baseball came in hot this week. I respect it. I feel like we're close to something. We're close to Springer.
Something's happening.
Closer to Chris Bryant.
An account that definitely doesn't know what's going to happen tweeted last night.
Yeah.
Look out for DJ News tomorrow.
So that's pretty huge. So we just recorded Talking Baseball. Mentioned that earlier, so go check that out. We talked about a lot of the rumors. We had a lot of fun. Got a little weird in there. BBD, we got some football boxes to check before we kind of dive into this weekend's games. The other breaking news today is Urban Meyer to the Jags.
Yeah,
is it 100%? Because I think I saw
it was a weird Schefter phrase.
I saw Schefter that was like, "We're on the path, but it's not 100%."
They're like it was like they're in extensive talks. We can pull this up.
Sure, we've got the internet here.
Adam,
I think
Schefter.
We used to have the internet here. Chat bumping right now. Love it.
Let's see.
The Shefty lefty.
He's tweeted a lot of stuff today.
Big day.
Urban Meyer's deal with Jacksonville is close, not done yet, but trending that way. Two sides are meeting again today. The agreement could be done as early as today.
Okay, it's done. It's done. I personally, I said this phrase and BBD laughed while I was recording it. I'm not into this. I think Urban Meyer is the perfect college football coach. And, hey, we'll talk about that with Saban in a little bit. But Urban Meyer, and the whole thing when Urban Meyer was coming up was he would have 70 kids over to his house for a dinner and a movie party. Like, he treated his football team and his players like they were actually his kids. And the college players... And you see it with Saban. It's either militaristic with Saban, and that works for the kids because Saban's got a wagon going. Where Nick Saban recruits kids, and he says, well, if you want to come here, you're probably going to have to sit for a year or two, and, if you work your ass off, there's a good chance that you're going to be a pro football player. And then he tells them, if you don't want to come here, that's fine. every other recruiter begs for them and says, "Oh, please come here. You'll be the future. You'll be on the magazine." Saban doesn't have to do that. Urban Meyer goes the other route. Like, I'm going to grow you as a man. Like, talk to the dudes who played for Urban Meyer, and they talk about him as almost a godlike figure because he really nurtures them. And he's a great college football coach. I mean, go back and look at his offenses. I don't want to say they're gimmicky, but they're very college football. It was very spread. It's very QB read. It's very heavy that way that stuff just doesn't play in the NFL. And I saw someone in the chat right now just said Saban to the Dolphins all over again. Josh, who's always very active. Thank you, Josh. I say thank you because I'm about to poop on you. No, the Saban NFL thing is really interesting because they were supposed to sign Drew Brees, and the Dolphins medical department said didn't pass him. So I'm not saying things go perfect, but I bet if Saban and Drew Brees were in Miami, I think things end a little differently. So the other part of this is the Jags job has the number 1 pick, and we've seen one of the most layup number 1 picks we've seen in a while with Trevor Lawrence. But I don't know, man. I'm excited to see it, and hey, I'll say this. Urban Meyer was a good enough college football coach that I'm sure he knows a hell of a lot about football, and he can learn NFL stuff and surround yourself with the right people. And he's going to get Trevor Lawrence that there's a chance it works out. I just don't love the fit. Jacksonville, not one of the NFL's meccas. Urban Meyer, his methods, I feel they speak more to college. There was some Urban Meyer to Texas rumors that I was all about. And I guess that's kind of the weird emotion for me, is that if Urban Meyer was going to Texas or USC or Notre Dame, I think I'd be stoked. I'd be like, there is another college football powerhouse. With Jacksonville, I'm kind of like, I don't think this works, and if it does, cool.
Yeah, you're not gonna. You like dynasties in the NFL. I mean, we just saw the Patriots do it for 20 years, but they really don't exist the same way as a college football team.
And I mean, Trevor Lawrence with that pressure, you'll get 1 year. Trevor Lawrence, rookie quarterback, rookie head coach, however it looks in Jacksonville, you'll get 1 year. But that second year, the pressure's going to be on, man. So I don't know. It's exciting and it's fun for the NFL. I guess if I'm a sports guy that goes on the record, I don't think it's going to be incredible. And I think there's a lot of other coaches that if you paired up a lot of other coaches with Trevor Lawrence, I'd be like, let's go. This is going to be badass. And if you paired up a lot of different colleges with Urban Meyer, I'd say, let's go. That's going to be badass. But this combination, yeah. So there's some analytics there. As I talk college football, Bama won another national title to the point that you can say it that way. And it's ridiculous. I didn't watch.
I flipped it on for 5 minutes, but I also don't usually watch, so that's...
What was the final? 54-29, something like that? Again, we do have internet here.
Alabama final.
We need another... I guess Clemson's been the other power.
Yeah.
Was that... Did I get it right?
College football 52-24.
52-24. I mean, it was a weird year. And, college football, part of the... Nate Steele says lowest viewership in 10 years. Yeah. And that's obvious, man. And I know it's a weird year. And this is what the college football people always say when they talk about doing a college football playoff, because the normal fan says, let's expand it to 8. Let's go to 16. And a lot of the experts, I think Herb Street is on this, is that the beauty of college football is the season. It's the team that does get hot and is 8-0. An 8-0 Wisconsin plays Ohio State, and if they win this year, this is the chance they go dancing. So I get it, and we didn't have it at all this year. This year sucked. I mean, for so many different reasons that I'm not going to hate on college football for it, but college football needs a couple more powers. I don't know. Alabama has fun. LSU won a year ago, and they were bad this year in the weird year. Need a couple more good teams.
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
It's tough that you can pencil in 3 of the Final 4 teams before
every
season
year.
begins.
And that's why Urban Meyer should have went to USC. But I don't know how that worked out. Congrats to Bama. At the same time, like, I grew up in Connecticut. I'm a big UConn women's basketball fan. And, like, they're as dominant as a team gets. It's starting to get better in recent years. And at the same time, I don't like that. And
it's fun when it's your team doing the dominant.
I'm not going to take it away from Saban because it's incredible, dude. It's incredible. That program, like, wasn't doing good things when he got there. And now, like, they walk into championships. So, good for Alabama. Roll damn Tide. Beeper, let's start talking about this weekend's playoffs. Playoffs? Give me something from the soundboard, BBD. I need a little soundboard.
He's not good. He's fabulous.
I'll taste other dudes.
Yeah. I mean, if that doesn't put some lead in your pencil, I don't know what does. Big playoff weekend of football.
The stakes are high. I enjoy them.
I saw BBD's face light up, and I didn't know which one it was.
I knew it had
And
to
now
be done.
Zendino the Great in the chat. Couple people have donated in the YouTube today. You guys are sickos. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you, everyone that's tuning in. Mondays have been the big ep so far. I think it's everyone just getting back into the week, but we've been doing like 30K combined on Monday. So you guys are the best. Should I be giving out that information? You could look it up yourself. So yes. Are we a Cron Pod, BBD? I forget.
Generally.
We are generally a Cron Pod.
And sometimes game of the night when we're recapping throws off the cron. But
Yeah, and it's all a gentle mix. It's all a gentle mix. BBD Saturdays.
I wrote them down in chronicle order in here.
I thought you were talking about smoking Cron. The first game, Rams-Packers, Saturday afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Green Bay's favored by 6.5. The Packers have been gross this season. If you guys have been listening here, I've been high on them. I mean, I think it's been lining up for Packers Chiefs for a while now. The Packers were 13-3 last year, and people kind of poo-pooed them and were like, "Oh, some of the analytics." They brought in that new head coach last year. So quick math, BBD. They are 26-6 under that guy.
In regular seasons, yeah.
Matt LaFleur.
13-3 back-to-back years.
Yeah. Matt LaFleur. The Rams, we all watched them last week. They've got some funk going on at the quarterback position. I think Goff God is planning on playing. He had the surgical finger. He came in. He looked okay. Wolford, who went to the hospital, they just said, like, it was a stinger. It's like, what? But I guess you got to be careful with that. The story is the Rams' defense was nasty.
Donald will play.
Number one defense in football. Donald's playing. They dominated the Seahawks in Seattle. They're kind of the hot team right now because, I mean, if you can make, and again, the Seahawks haven't looked like the Seahawks, but Russ Wilson can still cook on you. So will the Rams defense be able to beat up on the rested Packers? Again, only 2 teams got bye weeks this year, 1 team from each conference.
New format.
Packers have looked so good this year. They have had some recent playoff struggles. It's Rodgers versus that defense, and man, I'm not picking anything against Rodgers this year. I think a lot of people are on the Rams, not necessarily to win, but to make it a good game. That I think the Packers might flex, man, because they have just been gross for a while now. Any thoughts, Beeper?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in.
What were you looking up over there?
I was fixing the video delay.
My
part of the screen.
Producing.
Yeah, no, I like the Packers pick. I'm not sure how much disagreements you and I are gonna have this week.
I mean, it's a tricky weekend. A couple. Well, there's two games that there's clear favorites. It's the Packers and the Chiefs that we talked about, and we'll get there. Let's be honest. The story is, are the Rams going to give them a game? And they pounded the ball last weekend. What does Goff look like? McVay seems like he's on a little bit of an FU tour. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, how hot in the streets McVay was. I mean, he got LaFleur's job.
Yeah.
People talking about that. So,
fun.
Bussett challenge. Devontae Adams, his final stats this year, 115, 18 touchdowns. Team's game plan around him. So, and he still did
He's
that.
in that group of guys you can argue for the top wide receiver in the sport.
Yeah.
Is he the best wide receiver left? Maybe. I'm trying to think of who's on the other team.
Michael Thomas, Tyreek,
Yeah. Tyreek.
Stephon Diggs given. Yeah, BBD. I don't know.
Those Buccaneers guys.
I hate to be lame. I feel like, we want to give a little bit of analysis. But, I mean, the story of this game seems pretty clear. It's Rodgers. The rest of the Packers have been good. They had some playoff woes versus the Rams, who looked a lot of fun and dominant last week, but they're beat up and they're going to Green Bay. And it's Rodgers.
We start getting into special feel, team of destiny feel if it starts being Rams.
If the Rams go up
week.
early, there will be a team of destiny feel with McVay and the defense, and Goff kind of has a redemption story going on.
He's making it work with the thumb again.
BBD, I'm seeing in the chat, and I don't know if it's people just gossiping about a Baez trade. So I don't know if you want to check out the Twitter sphere for that while I go on to the next game. I will go on to the next game. Go Pack Go, said Keith McPherson in the chat. BBD, the next game is Ravens-Bills. Ravens-Bills. He's going for it.
Nah, that might have happened. I haven't seen anything
Okay.
to the contrary. But Theo Epstein is joining the commissioner's office as a consultant regarding on-field matters.
Interesting. Because there was rumors that Epstein was trying to hunt down the commissioner's job. So maybe he's infiltrating from the inside. Ravens, Bills. I think this is the game I'm most excited for this week. I guess Buccaneers, Saints, the old men quarterback. We'll get there. Ravens, Bills, man. We teased this a little earlier in the week. Talk about two quarterbacks who their reputation from one game is going to change drastically. If the Ravens and Lamar pull this out again, however it looks, that whole Lamar Jackson, he's got the monkey off his back. He won a playoff game. The stat we kept screaming at you last episode is his regular season. He's 30-7, now 1-2 in the playoffs. Versus Josh Allen, guy who's probably going to finish third in the MVP. He had this elite season that people didn't think he even had in the bag. I don't know, man. I feel like every year there's one football team that kind of plays above their skis, and then the playoffs come and they get it. And I think I'm going Ravens. I think Lamar is on a big FU tour that I think probably ends up with him and Mahomes. Like, the narrative that we stumbled into last episode about how much crap Lamar gets for how much he wins is insane. It's insane. Like, what's his record compared to Mahomes? It's got to be similar.
Probably, right?
And at the same time, Bills fan, Bills Mafia, if you're in here right now, or if you're listening, I haven't given you guys the proper respect. I'm not going to Tannehill Josh Allen because that would be rudely unfair. Josh Allen, I just want to see a little more. He's gotten really good at the Rodgers offside play. That's awesome. And he's like a gamer, man. He goes out and gets it. So I really respect Josh Allen. Him and Diggs have been nasty this year. I think we're getting snow in Buffalo this year. That's my final report. We're getting snow in Buffalo this year. I think we're getting snow in Buffalo this game. I like the Ravens, man. I think they had their down swoop this season. They're on the way up. And I just think Lamar is on a big-time FU tour.
They got hot just in time. Lamar wins this game. All of a sudden, like, is he just a winner?
Ooh, I like that, BBD.
He's up to 500 in his playoff career. Is this his first game playing as, like, a clear underdog in a playoff game? I'm trying to remember.
Ooh, interesting. I'd have to think back to his rookie year. The Bills are only 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah, that's
in Buffalo.
Maybe with the expected snow and Ravens are able to do the ground stuff.
I think that's my whole point I'm trying to get across right now. The Bills were 13-3 this year. They would have been 14-2 if they knocked down a Hail Mary pass. And the Ravens, with Lamar Jackson, who can't win in the playoffs, the Bills are 2.5-point favorites. Like, I don't know. If there's a little snow on the ground, you try tackling Lamar, because I'm not doing it. The Ravens have their formula. They're not supposed to be able to come from behind. They came back from 10-0 last weekend. I like the Ravens, man. And at the same time, I don't want to say I'm covering my butt, but, like, if Josh Allen proves me wrong, I am fine with that. Like, if Josh Allen wants to fully announce he's a dude, I'm in. Do it.
Yeah, I'm like, I like watching both of these teams. That's a statement.
Yeah,
I don't like watching all of the teams remaining because they're the 8 best teams left, I guess. So that's something.
Yeah, isn't that it's kind of weird looking at football through that scope.
Yeah. I don't know. I like have such a weird soft spot for the Bills. I found myself rooting for them kind of hard last week.
Okay.
Which I didn't expect.
Yeah,
I mean, I really like Lamar, but I don't think I like the Ravens.
It's a fun fan base. Buffalo, not the most exciting NFL city. Their coach isn't well respected. Josh Allen isn't well respected. Their defense isn't well respected. Like, I kind of get it. If you're just a sports fan, it's kind of fun to root for the Bills. So I'm really excited for that game, a little more than Packers-Rams. Interested to see. But that's the Saturday slate. The Sunday slate, BBD. And unfortunately, I think this first one's going to be quick. Browns versus Chiefs. Hey, Browns fans, you still get more claps. You took out the Steelers. I mean,
they did the dub.
One of the best first quarters in NFL history. Baker Mayfield, QB1. Hey, if you want to keep proving people wrong, I'm here for it. But the Chiefs are gross, man. The Chiefs are gross. On NFL Network yesterday, they were playing how many points down could the Chiefs be in the first quarter and you still believe they could win? And they said 35.
Like, all year we've been saying this, that the Chiefs have the luxury of being so good. They just, can, kind of mess around for the first 3 quarters, first half, and, turn it on when they need to, which, saying it out loud, that sounds like the type of thing that burns you in the playoffs when you're playing against a team you're heavily favored against, like the Browns. You kind of have nothing to lose.
Right, and if you're a Browns fan, what you do good is run the ball, and backs against the wall, you have nothing to lose. So you might as well lay it all out there. That being said, man, Andy Reid with 2 weeks, Patrick Mahomes with 2 weeks. I think the Chiefs legitimately hit a point this season where they stopped rolling out their best plays because they didn't need to, and they just didn't want to give out the tape. And I've been in on these Chiefs all year, so I hope the Browns give them a game. If you're the Browns right now, you get your head coach back. The COVID stuff's over. The Steelers stuff was awesome. And you're saying nobody believes in us. If I'm Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Browns, I'm saying the NFL Network was just talking about the Chiefs coming back from 35-0 against us. You know, like there's a level of disrespect there, and if the Browns can get the ball, run it, contain a little bit,
Do what they do.
It really is genuine though. I mean, if the Chiefs were down 21 at halftime, I would bet them to win. Like as long as they got Mahomes, man. So I hope the Browns make it a game. I hope they're dialed in. I love Stefanski as a head coach. I'm all about Baker. I'm all about the running game. Make a couple plays. Where's my guy Taki? Go get another pick. But I mean,
If you're a Browns fan, you can get yourself excited for what we said before. The Chiefs have gotten down early a few times, and this can be the week they don't turn it on. And they just had a week off. That's an extra week to prep, but they also didn't play Mahomes in week 17, so
Right.
he's now not playing. You can talk yourself into some confidence,
man, hey,
and you are a good team.
the chat right now is in on the Browns. They're talking about their defense. They're saying the game's going to be closer than people think. I don't know, guys. I mean, I'll be watching,
I hope it's
and
close.
I hope it is, but it's going to be tough for me to buy into that. I think what's building up to be the game of the weekend, and kudos
appropriately scheduled.
Kudos to Tom Brady for that electric Twitter account he runs. And he posted the picture of him and Drew Brees as old men. I mean, that's just really good.
Good stuff. Kind of freaky because the bodies were still the young version.
Yeah.
Which I guess is that the point?
Well, no, it was weird. And I mean, there's obviously apps for all of this stuff. But I mean, like you looked at them and you're like, oh, yeah. Like, that's a 60-year-old Tom Brady if he lived in the Montana woods for 5 years. And that's
Let it
Drew
hang a little
Brees
loose.
given lessons. The Buccaneers are facing the Saints. Tom Brady, Drew Brees in New Orleans. New Orleans, the last 2 years, has had just crippling playoff losses. The Buccaneers, this is the new team. Tom Brady, Arians, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans is back. We didn't really realize that. Fournette's doing good. The Bucs defense is good. The storyline here, and it's what we talked about when Bobby Skinner was on the show, the Saints beat up on the Bucs twice. I mean, there was that first game earlier in the year that was actually an okay game. And then they steamrolled them in Tampa. So I asked Bobby, because I was, I haven't been on the football field for a lot of games. BBD with the graphic, nice. And we were talking about, the O-line gets an advantage because they've seen all the D linemen's tricks and moves. I mean, that's what he told me. I have no idea, man. For me, this is the flip a coin of theories because, as Keith McPherson just said in the chat, it's extremely hard to beat a good team 3 times. Yes. Or you're better than that team. And I don't know. I mean, at the same time, because that's where you start spinning in your head. You're telling me Tom Brady and a motivated Bucs team is playing a team for the 3rd time. Tom Brady's never lost to a team 3 times in a season. It's really hard to pick against that. Drew Brees and the Saints at home. Their defense, some people think, is one of the top in the NFL. Brees had Thomas back last week. He looked a little better. I don't know, man. I think I just talked myself into the Bucs because, if you live a life betting against Brady, but at the same time, if New Orleans gets a little momentum, if they get a big play early and get Tampa thinking, are we about to get dump trucked again? I don't know. Brady?
Give me the Bucs.
Yeah?
I don't need to be the guy predicting Brady's downfall or predicting him to lose. When it happens, it happens. I don't need to be the guy to predict it because it usually doesn't happen. The Saints just played a sloppy game with the Bears. Obviously, more of the slop was on the Bears' end.
Slime on the field. Saints. The Saints beat them 38-3. 34-23
It was like
week
dominant in those games. But third time, you see him. It's Brady in the playoffs.
Peyton and Breeze. Michael Thomas is back. Because you can talk me into the Saints have had such troubling playoff losses that this core, realizes and appreciate how good it is. People are talking about Breeze's final run, and this is one of the best teams he's had because of the defense. I mean, you just hope it lives up to what this can be. Because not to be the weird, emotional old guy sports fan, but, this is Breeze and Brady. This is it. This is the end of the line for these two. You know what? I'm flip-flopping. Give me the Saints. Their defense is good. This team has been there. I like Peyton more than Arians. It's in New Orleans. I think they get one big play from either Kamara or Thomas, and that kind of freezes up the Bucs. Because, man, if Brady does this to Breeze, I mean, these guys are the guys that have been going back and forth all year for the touchdown passes record. This is kind of nuts. So I don't know. If you guys have a lean, tweet at us. Tweet at me. Tweet at Big Baby David. Because I don't know. I think you just talk yourself into whichever old guy.
Whatever side you kind of want to
It feels like you either like Brady and you're picking Brady, or you don't like Brady and you're not picking Brady.
I kind of nothing Brady.
You're kind of a nothing Brady guy, huh?
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't mind when he wins. Makes those 2 giant Super Bowls feel really good.
I kind of like him.
I've especially recent years, I'm closer to liking him than not liking him. Could do without him, but
I'm back on the Bucs. Back on the Bucs. I like Brady, and I just want him to twist the knife to New England. Just be like, I still had it.
And there's just so many of those dudes on the Bucs that have been there a little while. Now they're in the playoffs, and they are hungry.
Bucs.
Saw Mike Evans put up the big stat line despite the knee thing in Week 17.
Yeah, his first touchdown in
was really
over a year
cool.
or whatever. Fantasy owners, I'm mad. Guys, it's a huge weekend of football. I mean, the Elite Eight, as BBD recognized. 2 games Saturday, both night games. I mean, feel like they should be awesome. And the afternoon games have the two best quarterbacks this season. So
The afternoon games got a chance to be fun.
Come on,
I
Rams.
think it's an easy pick.
Rams and
Picks.
Browns early. But, yeah, from there, that's it. Guys, that's the football. We kind of did a deep dive on it. Brings us to the comment of the day. Holy smokes, excited to talk to you guys Monday. Speaking of the comment of the day, bakers, I ask you guys to bake the algorithm. Leave a like, leave a comment. The Facebook views have been nuts. You guys are awesome. Podcast app everywhere. Last episode, I got a couple good sports ones here. Love it. The first one, Bear Link, and someone else commented this about it. It was about the punts and football gami. We got a football origami. We got an original score last week, which has been exciting this year. That's been a fun Twitter account. And also, Scoregami, that punting account was created by Jomboy. Jon space Bois, who's got a pretty big following, which always cracks me
I'm a
up.
big fan of his videos, which I don't think you and I have ever discussed before.
I mean, I kind of want a 30 for 30 on Jomboy and Jomboy and see what overlaps there are.
Jomboy and John.
Because I bet there's some weird stuff. I believe in that. So, yeah, there's 3 of the most cowardly punts in the last 10 years on last playoff weekend. which is kind of like, what? What are we doing? Go and win games? Instead of being cowards? That Steelers punt still sucks. Still sucks to this moment. And the other comment of the day, maybe my favorite comment of the day so far. I'm going to try to take a deep breath and do this. From Anthony Dodge the Model Train Outsider. Browns need to fire their defensive coach, Joe Woods. He has tried to blow or blown games all year. Yesterday, when the Browns got up 28-0, he went soft cover 2, cover 3 the last 3 quarters and let the Steelers get back in the game. Every time the Browns get a lead, he goes full tilt soft coverage, playing the trade yards for time crap. He tried to blow the Tennessee game, blew the Jets game with Stefanski, coached awful defense against Baltimore in both games, tried to blow the Pittsburgh game last week. Both Stefanski and Woods shut games down too soon and start playing protect when they get a lead. The best thing yesterday was the Browns OC, Alex Van Pelt, got to call plays, and though he did go soft a bit, he opened it right back up and the team responded. Woods is a horrible defensive coordinator. The Browns can score on the Chiefs' defense, but Woods will play full-scale coward mode on defense. I'm a Browns fan, but it could be 63-48 Chiefs.
He plays to not lose. He doesn't play to win.
That guy had something to get off his chest, and I love that he did it in our comment section. Anthony Dodge, the Model Train Outsider, thank you. Some heavy Browns deep cut there. Defensive coordinator Joe Woods. And know what? Joe Woods, you win this weekend, literally every team will want you as a head coach if you figure out how to stop the Chiefs. But you won't. So thanks for the comment. Leave a comment about your sports team. Leave a comment about Joe Woods, D coordinator, because that's pretty nutty. BBD, bro of the night. We'll be quick. I've got to jump on something in a minute. What? BBD, who's your bro of the night? Our final segment of the show.
My bro of the night, Damian Lillard, dropped 40 points, 13 assists in a pretty close win against the Kings.
Okay.
The other night, and yeah, he's good at basketball. Short, sweet.
That's a really good one.
Dame Lillard.
That's a really good bro of the night.
Only one board. Is he done? No.
I'll go Saban.
Thought that's where you were leaning.
He won another national title. The offense is gross. I mean, go back 2-3 years. The whole thing was like Alabama doesn't do a real offense. They just run the ball and dominate teams. They had like the 2 best wide receivers this year. Wow, Mac McClung, shout out in the chat right now, who I think, I might have this wrong, I think Mac McClung is the cousin of Riff Raff, the rap star.
Right.
So maybe that's my bro of the night. But no, Saban keeps winning. To the point it's become not fun. So maybe he's not my bro of the night. How about that? Saban and Mac McClung and Riff Raff. They all get it.
Three-headed monster.
They all get it. The dream team. BBD, beautiful episode today. Wrapping up what we're watching tonight. You got some hoops on here.
Check out the football. I assume Harden's first game with the Nets will be either this Saturday or this coming Monday.
I think Saturday.
Probably, right? I think they said he's going to land in Brooklyn today. So
Huge.
Cool.
Protocol.
Oklahoma State basketball Saturday night. ESPN2 Heat Sixers play tonight. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Bakers, you're all beautiful. So much stuff on the Jomboy Media Network. Talking baseball, talking Nets if you want more Harden, talking Yanks, new GM files. Go watch GM files if you're one of our baseball freaks. JJR, like I said before, go check that out. Sequence with Trevor Plouffe? Maybe. Go check it out, guys. We love you. Me and BBD will be here Monday morning. Talk some foosball and a big baseball trade. Maybe. Bake the algorithm, baby.
2 of the teams left lost the Jets. That's funny.